Dolphins fans, welcome in to Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about some Mike Gesicki replacements because he is probably going to leave him for agency. And it's certainly going to be an eventful offseason for the Dolphins. So subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. You do not want to be out of the loop. Go down, subscribe, turn on your notifications as well. Then you'll get an alert on your phone whenever we put out a video. Let's talk about Mike Gesicki because he posted what could be a farewell to the Dolphins on Twitter earlier this week. We talked about it yesterday, a lengthy statement kind of thanking the Dolphins and Dolphins fans and the Miami community. It looked like a farewell. So I think a lot of us, after we read that, are thinking, okay, who is going to replace Mike Gesicki? He's been a great tight end for the Dolphins his entire 5-year career. So it's not going to be easy to replace him, but we're going to talk about some possible options today, some Mike Gesicki replacements, some internal candidates, some draft guys, some free agent guys, 10 names that could replace Mike Gesicki. And we begin with some internal candidates, starting with Tanner Conner. Now, Tanner Conner was an undrafted free agent out of Idaho State. I really like Tanner Conner. Now, he finished his rookie season with no receptions, just 3 targets, so he just didn't get involved. But if Gesicki leaves, they're probably going to want a guy like Conner to get more reps in this offense. I think it's possible that he'll have a more involved role next season. Another guy, an internal candidate, is Hunter Long. He'll be heading into his 3rd season, a former 3rd-round pick out of Boston College. But just 1 reception in his first 2 seasons. So much like Conner, younger guy, maybe going to get more involved if Mike Gesicki is not here next year. Taking a look at what this tight end depth chart looks like. The team surprisingly kept 5 tight ends. Now, we didn't see Ethan Carter after he had a really bad concussion in week 1, but Gesicki, Smythe, Long, Conner, and Carter were the 5 tight ends they carried. So we'll see. I mean, they might not even draft or sign a tight end. It might just roll with some of those guys next year. They do draft a tight end. Be looking for Davis Allen, the Clemson tight end in this draft class. He is a projected day 2 pick. More than likely going to fall to the Dolphins in round 2. Probably going to be there in round 3 as well. 5 touchdowns this year for Clemson, 443 yards. I like Allen, maybe not my number 1 draft target, but he's up there at the tight end position. Now, how big of a need is tight end this offseason? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. Scale it 1 to 10 down in the comments. How big of a need is tight end? There's just bigger needs on this team. Corner, offensive line, running back, all bigger needs. I would say maybe a 5. If you lose Gesicki, probably a 5. Jordan Akins, I like the idea to bring him in. He's been solid his entire career. Spent last season with the Houston Texans and had 37 receptions for nearly 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. So solid replacement, could come in and compete to be the number 1 tight end on this team. I like Akins. He's not top 5 on my list. But he's still a potential option to replace Mike Gesicki. Today's show is sponsored by my favorite cereal, Magic Spoon. Growing up, cereal is one of the best parts of being a kid, but I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar and junk that you really shouldn't eat. But Magic Spoon is cereal reinvented. I start every day with a bowl of Magic Spoon. It tastes amazing, and honestly, it's too good to be true. Magic Spoon tastes exactly like regular cereal from your childhood, but it is super nutritious with 13 to 14 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar. Magic Spoon comes in delicious flavors such as cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter, and it only has 140 calories per serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free. I love Magic Spoon because it tastes great and it's good for you. I'm never going back to regular cereal. Start your new year off right with Magic Spoon. Use the QR code on screen or go to magicspoon.com/chat and use my code CHAT for $5 off your own personalized Magic Spoon variety pack and stay on track of your New Year's resolutions. That's magicspoon.com/chat. and or scan the QR code and use code CHAT. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. It was my New Year's resolution to stop eating all this sugary cereal. I went to the dentist the other week. I had 5 cavities. Magic Spoon is just so much better for you. I feel so much better after eating a bowl of Magic Spoon every morning. MagicSpoon.com/chat, $5 off your first order. Let's get into number 6 on my list here now. It is Austin Hooper, the Tennessee Titans tight end. He is going to be a free agent. He's not expected to be back in Tennessee. He comes in at number 6 on my list here. A decent option here for the Dolphins, 444 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns this season, but he didn't have more than 5 receptions in a game, so not a huge weapon in that Titans offense this year. Here is my number 1 draft target. That is Tucker Kraft. He comes in number 5 here on my list from the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And here's what NFLDraftBuzz had to say about this guy. As a sophomore in 2021, he played 15 games and had an impressive 65 catches for 770 yards for an average of 11.8 yards per catch with 6 touchdowns and an elite quarterback rating when targeted of 129.4. In pass protection, he gave up 3 pressures and no sacks. As a pass blocker, he gave up no pressures and no sacks. He was injured for a lot of 2022. In fact, an ankle injury limited him to just 6 games in 2022, but he's expected to be a mid to late second-round pick, so could be on the board when the Dolphins pick at number 51 overall. I really like Tucker Kraft. He's my favorite draft prospect in this class. I know what y'all are saying. Well, he's not Michael Mayer. Well, Michael Mayer's going to be a first-round pick. The Dolphins don't have a first-round pick, so Tucker Kraft is a second-round guy. Who is your favorite draft prospect? Go down to the comment section. It doesn't have to be a tight end, but go down to the comment section and let me know. Hayden Hurst, going to be one of the best tight ends available in free agency. He played with the Cincinnati Bengals this year after signing a 1-year deal with them. Here are the numbers that he put up in Cincinnati. 52 receptions, 414 yards, 2 touchdowns this season for Hurst in a Bengals uniform. But he is not in front of a guy the Dolphins already have on the team, and that is Durham Smythe. And I think that this might be his time to break out. He's under contract for 1 more year in Miami. He's been the number 2 tight end behind Mike Gesicki the last couple of years. Those two, though, best friends. Durham Smythe was a groomsman in Mike Gesicki's wedding. Gesicki thanking Smythe in his farewell post to the Dolphins a few days ago. So I think that this might be a big year for Smythe, and I'm fine with him being the guy. I really am. If they don't sign or draft anybody and they're going to roll with Smythe, Hunter Long, and Tanner Kiner next year, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Evan Engram, number 2 on my list here. I really like Engram. He had a breakout season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, career highs in receptions and yards. This comes after signing a 1-year, $9 million contract. So he's going to be a free agent, and he is going to demand a lot more than he just got in Jacksonville. Probably going to be a $14, $15 million per year guy if you want to bring him in. And then Dalton Schultz with the Cowboys. Number 1 on my list. I would love to bring Dalton Schultz to Miami. I'm all in on this guy, especially after watching his performance on Monday night versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 577 yards this season. Much like Gesicki, his numbers actually went down a little bit this year, but still solid numbers. 5 touchdowns, 57 receptions with the Dallas Cowboys this season. He is probably the best tight end available in free agency. Gesicki probably number 2 behind him. Schultz needs to be very high on the Dolphins' free agent big board. And you're talking about guys you need to prioritize. Dalton Schultz is probably top 5 on that list, even though tight end is not the biggest position of need on the Dolphins. Who should be number 1 on the Gesicki replacements list? Go down in the comment section. Who should be number 1 on that list? I'm sure a lot of y'all are going to say Dalton Schultz. Evan Engram's also a solid option, and then there's some guys in the draft as well the Dolphins might look at. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to have you covered throughout the entire Dolphins offseason. still getting you guys daily Dolphins content.